Hey everybody, welcome to the Donnie Williams Show. This is the show where I, Todd Anderson, tell an anecdote or give some behind-the-scenes tidbits or some general thoughts about acting in television and film, as I have for the last couple, more than 2 decades at this point. Somewhere in the midst of the third. Yeah. And I do this because a drummer named Donnie Williams said I should. So today, rather than tell a story there's been an interesting development. I find this development very, very interesting. This is happening now. So this Donnie Williams episode, this is like a scoop. It's a scoop. So I was reading the paper this morning that so far this year, 2022. There have been 2.5 million cases of the coronavirus. Last year, 2021, in California, we capped out at the end of the year with 3.1 million cases. I'm confused because, people are calling this the new normal. Some people are like, screw it, we're going to live with this the rest of our lives. I just, the numbers don't match up for me. And then when people say we're getting back to normal, we're reopening all this stuff, it's all very confusing to me. But, the show must go on, as they say. So there's been this new type of acting gig that you can get now. I believe on the Broadway, on the stage, this job is referred to as understudy. But what it's being referred to in the realm of television commercials, at least, is COVID backup. So it's literally what they're calling you if you book one of these jobs, and then they pay you basically to stay home. You have to get a COVID test a couple days before the shoot day. That their first choice is actually shooting on that day. And then if you book the COVID backup, you just get paid, for that day and to go get a test, which is, it's new. The way it's new is this has always been a thing, certainly in commercials. They have the first choice and then they have second, third choices. And that's how it happens with commercials. You might lose. You have one day, and everything's planned for that day. And if you book somebody, and something might happen, it could be as simple as they get a higher paying gig or something, and they, have to back out or whatever. And then your second choice, you call that person and you shoot the commercial with that person. But in the past, they do this thing called a veil. Like if they're interested in you, they go, we're putting Todd on a veil for these days. So they don't pay you for that. They just sort of reserve you. It is a sort of a professional courtesy thing that if something else comes up for you, you call them and give them the option of hiring you or not before you take the other job. It's just a professional courtesy. But now, because that might not work out. Now to guarantee they're paying to keep you on this avail. They pay, which is always something I was like, why isn't that the thing? Why don't they, if they want to put you on a veil for 2 weeks, they should just pay you. And you're reserved, and if you don't work, fine. But, it's like the studio system used to do that. They just put someone under contract and you'd be paid even if you weren't working. Anyway, so in a weird way, I guess that's one strange positive thing that's come out of this fucking never-ending pandemic is, they're kind of paying us for avails now. This has been a Blursh production. Blur.